All right. Well, we'll jump into things here. We're recording. Cool. So anybody that jump in late will have this for them. So today I said to Marty that we could provide anybody that came here a free contact list, and I'm just going to show off a tool that I've been using that is not that expensive, um, and it's been pretty decent. I'm a big fan of cheap tools that I can introduce to folks. So
That's all
let
you
me
have
go
here.
ahead and let me actually also tell you what there's a you can get this tool for as cheap as $30, $29.99, and get as many as
Cheaper than a shovel.
3,500 leads a day. It looks like. So, and I'll actually go through some of this, and it does give that. Okay, cool. Let me share my screen. I'll go ahead and make some lists while we're at it if you guys have any that you want us to make. So, and I'll also give you some ideas on how you might be able to use this list or use this list builder. So it's not just about cold calling, cold emailing. There's a variety of uses here, use cases. So what you've got here is d7leadfinder.com. I'm going to save that somewhere.
Sounds familiar. I think I heard of this one before.
Have you? Okay, cool. It is, I believe, fairly popular in the Facebook advertising space. In fact, it's one that I've been using. But I'll tell you there's some gaps and what you need to do to make sure that you're getting the most out of this. So let's go ahead. Tim, you're the one that's on camera, so I'm going to let you pick this here. So this is good at identifying businesses that are local, that are trying to market to a local area. And then we can pick any kind of city that we want. But tell me any kind of business that you might want to target that would be targeting a local area.
Real estate?
Real estate? So we got realtors, we got real estate brokers, agents, investors. Who you want?
Let me ask you a quick question that might help. Our biggest client is Champion Real Estate, but they're more of an investor. They buy apartment buildings around colleges, and those get websites for student housing. So that's what we've been doing for them.
Okay.
So would that be an investor?
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds like that would be the right fit. So real estate investor, we'll select that as a keyword. What city would you like to target?
Let's go for Santa Monica.
Say that again. Sorry.
Santa Monica?
The place over in California, Mike.
I know, man. Right?
Santa like the jolly.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
All right. We'll click get leads here. Estimated time remaining 3 minutes, 36 seconds. So it's going to go ahead and build that entire list. I'm going to, while it is building, show off what is inside the list, and then we'll come back to this. All right. And then anybody else, you want us to build you a list, give me the type of business that you want, and a city that you want. You can email that to me, or if the chat feature is available, I don't think we have set this up so the chat feature is available. So email it to me, and I will get you your list. Let me go ahead and just show you some previous lists while that one is in fact building. Off screen here for a second, and previous lists, and let's pick this guy. So I'm going to show you this list. This is jewelers. The reason I built this list is I'm a big fan of the big ticket nature of what they sell. You help them get a client or two, and you have made them their money back quite easily.
Mm-hmm.
And they are very localized, so they're really advertising to the people right around them. Perfect prospect for Google Ads, for GBP optimization, and depending on the type of service, could be a good fit for Facebook advertising, remarketing to the folks that may have a longer decision cycle. For instance, plumbers aren't really a good fit for that because normally you're solving that problem pretty quick. You don't have a long decision cycle on that, right? So remarketing is less of a fit there. So anyways, let's go ahead. We'll download this list of jewelers. So what this is jewelers, and then this is the top 100 cities in the United States. So it's going to be a much bigger list. Go ahead and download that real quick. Go. All right. So then there's a couple of things that you should know about this tool. There's a lot that it gives. It gives a ton of data, and I'm a big fan of this, but it needs some cleaning in my opinion. It's not perfect. So the way that I clean this up, just so you know, is I first come over here to this category section. You want jewelry store, jeweler, this is all good, right? So let's go ahead. Let's filter this. Filter. You're going to see a bunch of categories that doesn't make any sense that they've also pulled in. We're going to get rid of all of that just by filtering down. So we'll probably get rid of costume jewelry. Go jeweler, jewelry watches, that's cool. Buyer, sure, designer, engraver. We want repair services, we keep that. Store, valuer. Let's just narrow it down to watches, store. See, there's a bunch of different types of categories here. Now let me filter down that list just to make sure it's nice and clean. So this is the top 100. Let me go ahead and move this to a new file. How many do we got here? And I'll show you exactly what it gives you. So for jewelers, it just gave us back 6,900 folks that we could go contact in the top 100 areas, cities in the US. What does it give you? It gives you the name of the company. It gives you the phone number. Cool, you can call them. It gives you the email, if there's one associated with the website. Tells you the email host. I don't really care as much about that. Gives you the website. Obviously, category. You want to do, say, a direct mail campaign and gives you the address. Tells you Google rankings. I don't find that category to be particularly helpful as someone that likes to look at more data than that. Tells you their Facebook page, Instagram account, Twitter account, LinkedIn account. Also tells you stuff like their Google reviews, how many Google reviews they have, Yelp reviews, Facebook. And it gives you all sorts of stuff about like their Facebook pixel and whether they use it, whether they use Shopify, when they got the domain, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot here. There's really three primary uses that I see out of this list. One is, you could do a direct email campaign, providing out an offer. Makes sense to specifically target and talk about an offer to their industry, right? Make it as personalized as you can. So you could do a cold email campaign, and that was pretty inexpensive for us to throw this together, and now we got a good email list. Now, I recommend personally taking all these emails, cleaning them up, running them through a company like Unbounce. If you've ever heard of Unbounce, let me just go here, Unbounce. Oh no, I'm thinking the wrong. Sorry. Email verification. What am I thinking of? I'm Never Bounce. Pretty inexpensive. They will check all of the emails before you even send it out, so you're not ending up getting flagged as sending to emails that are not going to receive. You want to clean up the email list before you send a cold email campaign if that's what you're going to do. Okay. And I also recommend it is best practice to warm up a domain, not use your primary domain if this is going to be a method of lead gen, just so you guys know. So that's one. obviously you can contact. One of the things that you could easily do with this kind of a list is I would probably strip some of this information out. I would definitely provide the name, the website, and the address. And I would go to, say, Fiverr. So the one thing that this doesn't give you is who's the contact? What's their name? Who are you calling in for? So pull it in an email, and it might tell you that right there. So that might be pretty easy. But it's a stab in the dark, right? Are they the owner? What's the deal, right? And most of them are not going to have their name associated with this list. So if I actually go back here, you're going to have lots of infos and all sorts of things like that don't match up. So one of the things you'll want to do is take this, have somebody go ahead and do the research for you. You could do the research, like you could go to the website, you could use all the tools, like hunter.io is a good tool. There's a bunch of tools out there that'll help you find contact information. You could go to LinkedIn. I mean, this has their LinkedIn profile, right? So that has the company LinkedIn profile. Not every single one of them, but it's got a chunk of them. You could go there. You could find out who works there. Great. So you could do all that personal work. Or, in my opinion, what I like to do, I like to value my time. You can go to Fiverr. There's a bunch of folks that will augment your leads. So if you actually give them, I recommend not going to Fiverr and saying, hey, just give me some leads. You know, don't send them off with like, hey, give me jewelers, because then you'll get a bunch of mess back, in my opinion. But if you tell them, hey, these are the jewelers, I want you to find me the owner of these jewelers and their contact information, they'll fill it in. And these guys are not like, this is just like the first example of if I Google for that, or sorry, if I do a search on Fiverr for that. Like 1,000 leads cost you $50 and they're going to fill this in for you. So much higher value of your time. Then you can go ahead and do a cold call campaign if that's what you wanted. The other thing to think about is the social aspect. So Instagram, Twitter, obviously you could do a LinkedIn campaign connecting with them. But what I like, and this is actually pretty interesting, is a lot of our partners have had quite a bit of success with Instagram outreach. It's not as widely talked about, but when I think about our partners who have scheduled a lot of different meetings, and they, you know, they're just a startup, I regularly hear of Instagram as being a successful place, and I regularly see that because we actually ask that question when people book meetings with us: is, hey, how did you book this meeting? Some of our more successful partners that are in the startup phase that don't have inbound, their outbound strategy is actually Instagram. So you could actually, there's tool sets out there that'll help with you know, the DMing if you like, or you could get a VA, give them this entire list, say, hey, here's the account, go follow them, you know, send them a DM, like their posts, stay front of mind. And that would cost you what, $200, $300, $400 a month. If you don't know where to get a good VA, onlinejobs.ph is a good place for that. But these are some different ways that you can use this data. And it is probably the most cost-effective way that I have found to build these lists. There's one other way that you can use this data that the reason I actually even was introduced to this tool and how I have been using this data is none of the things I've mentioned so far. The way that I have been using this data is I will actually take this data, the emails, phone numbers, and the location. And what I'll do is I upload this as a Facebook audience. So after I clean it up, right, with a category, you got to make sure it's clean. Take that and upload it into Facebook as a custom audience. Now you can specifically target those folks on Facebook. And now that you've got a good chunk of folks that are in the jewelry market, you've very much clearly indicated to Facebook, this is who I'm targeting, and you make a lookalike audience off of that. And now you're targeting jewelers that are not on your list. And so if you can build out ad campaigns that really talk to that market, great. So those are the primary ways that I would use this data. I'm a big fan of using this for an inbound approach. So I left the best for last of Facebook, using this to build a Facebook audience. But the email and phone number is the best bit of this. But do not forget, like, don't, like, they actually make it really easy to download a Facebook audience that, you know, in this tool set. Don't do that. I highly recommend filter by the category, make sure you've got it nice and clean, and then upload it as a Facebook audience. So I went through that really quickly. Are there any questions on this tool set, how to use the data, and is this helpful?
Yes, definitely helpful.
Sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
Excellent. And by the way, we'll also cut this up. So if you, I saw some of you guys taking screenshots and stuff like that, you know, taking pictures and stuff. That's cool. But we will also make sure that we cut this apart down to the relevant parts, and we'll put it on our YouTube channel. So you guys have this recording. So yeah, cold email campaigns, cold call campaigns, direct mail campaigns. But I think truly the best part of this is Facebook audience. Once you've cleaned it up some, and there you go.
What's the tool called again? D7 Lead Finder?
Yeah, let me go back to that. Sorry, I should stop minimizing. Just find it here. Here, d7leadfinder.com.
Cool.
And by the way, quick little tip. D7 Lead Finder won't be happy that I tell you this, but sign up for it and then go to quit. And then if you're on, I don't know if it's on every plan, because I have a bigger plan, but for me, when I accidentally went to the cancel page and it was like, would you like a 30% discount? And I was like, of course I would. So I don't know if that's on every plan, but test that. You probably get a 30% discount pretty much immediately. So. And let's see, I think this
Mike,
list might
giving
be
away
pretty,
these secrets on YouTube. Way to go, Mike.
right? Hey, I want to help them out. All right, so here you go. Here's your list. Let me go ahead and I'll just download it real quick.
Woohoo!
And obviously, with it being one city, it's going to be a much smaller list, especially after we filter it. Over here, and we'll filter it down. Where's the category? I normally run a bulk list. Okay, here it is. Filter. Got property investment, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the right fit. Oh, it's investment company. Oh, that made it pretty small. You'll definitely want to go after. But hey,
Los Angeles.
yeah, you'll. So what I personally recommend is pull a lot of cities at a time.
All right.
It actually will give you the top 100 cities for each state. So you just click on that button pretty quick. Personally, for me, I bought their largest plan, and I got a list of every city in the United States, and I drop in my own, like, here's the 800 cities that exist in that state, and I get them. I make sure that I tell the tool, give it all to me, instead of just the top 100.